I don't know if you've thought about it yet. You're like, I just gotta like make sure this goes through, everything's lined up. But did you already have something in mind? Like, what's next for Brian North?
I walked in one afternoon and I sat down at my desk and it was like a big decompress from, busy afternoon. I was like, all right, like, what do I want to do? And I went through this pretty simple process of um, what would I do that I do every day in my real estate life for free? That's the natural question. And I was like, well, a few things sparked, right? I love teaching. Like, I really love teaching. I love one on one coaching. I don't know that I love that from a business perspective yet. But I do love the connection and being able in a short amount of time to get somebody to challenge their own perspective and climb themselves to a potentially new level in a very short amount of time. And I've been fortunate to be able to do that. Keynote speaking, really like platform speaking is something that just, I try to be a professional snowboarder for a lot of years. And when I left that life and I skated and I was just still surf. And when I kind of like left that life from an everyday perspective, my real mission in life was, is there something I could find that I could do that would give me the same feeling that like standing at the top of a big jump, getting ready to drop in and my jacket like blowing in the wind, going as fast as I can. And that like huck and just that freedom in the air and stomping and then being like, yeah, like how could I replace that feeling? Like that search will never go away. Keynote speaking for me is that. Like that's that feeling, like the run up, the sit at the backstage, the like that whole thing is standing at the top of the jump, running out there and the lights being in your face and you can't go back. That whole analogy for me is a very familiar one. And platform speaking for me is it's what I love. It's what I'm destined to do. The question then became, what would I pay to do? So if I could design something and they would say, all right, like an experience, but it's going to be work, right? Something I could monetize, but an experience that I could do where they're like, okay, what could we do that would feel like work that you do today that you would pay a big ticket check to do? And it really came down to public speaking, platform speaking. And I'm talking about big audiences, right? So for me, I wrote down on this piece of tag board, I'm the world's greatest public speaker. Now, it didn't mean that I believe I'm the world's greatest public speaker yet, right? What it was authorizing myself into the space of professional, right? So what does it mean to be a professional? Until now, I have talent. I'm a good public speaker. But in order to be a professional, you can't rely on talent. Like you've got to go do a deep dive. You got to go study. You got to go like really analyze micro things like voice inflection and being able to pace your words and knowing when to stop when you drop a bomb on the audience or waiting when people laugh or too many hand gestures. I like to pace a lot. I get amped when I'm on stage. Like, when is it a time to sit down? When is it a time to stand up? Looking in a camera instead of looking at your face on the screen. Like all these little things that are going to take attention, going and studying an audience before I get to the audience. Like I know these are all things I've charted in the last 2 months, right? And it's because I'm authorizing myself into the place of being a professional. And that's an exciting thing. Like if I want to be the best in the world, how deep am I really willing to go in order to get there? And it's not much what I did different in the brokerage business. The brokerage business just had a lot of things that ended up coming with it over time that I misread. I wasn't ready for them in a way. So for me, definitely I want to launch some online coaching products. And I predominantly want to do that because I really love young people who want to get on in this world and build their financial wealth or their financial model around freedom, right? I want to help young people be free. There's so much depression, anxiety dialogue in the world, and depression and anxiety comes from the unknown of the future, right? It really does. I mean, like that, if we just lived in the present moment, most of us right now, we're perfectly fine. We just start to freak out when we think about how bad things might be tomorrow. And so for me, I've been through a lot of it. I live very young. I'm very active. I like young music, pop culture. I still skate, surf, snowboard, all those things. So for me, the low ticket barrier to entry, the online courses is not because I can get rich. It's because I can touch a bigger audience of people who don't have the means potentially yet to be able to afford it and hear it from an older, kind of figure that I think they'll be able to feel that I know their life. I'm not too far removed and I went through hard enough shit in my life that they're not going to be able to fool me that they're going through something significantly worse. And I think I've got a real connection there in that space. So that low ticket space and then the platform speaking. And then I think at some point what's going to happen is there's going to be something in the middle. And I really am going to find a way to have a one-on-one relationship with people in coaching, but that's not for now. I'm going to take some of my time back right now.